Hi, everyone. Um, how do you know you're doing what you were meant to do in life? This is going to be seen kind of off for me, and it's going to seem I'm not going off on the deep end or anything, so don't think I'm crazy or anything. But I have recently been made aware, or it has been revealed to me in perfect clarity, that I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do in life. Or you can even say I'm doing what I was destined to do in life. I was born March 27th, 1965. And early on in life, when I was very young, I had a very bad stuttering problem. I used to stutter, oh my God, so bad. I couldn't put two words together without stuttering. It got so bad, especially like when I was around 8, 9, 10 years old. It got so bad till I would literally choke to death from stuttering. I remember having to be revived or resuscitated at least 3 times when I was younger, 8, 7, 8, 9, and 10 years old, from stuttering. That's how bad it was. I just had a real bad stuttering problem. Okay. It was later attributed to I have what's called autographic memory, not photographic, but autographic memory, which means everything that I hear, I retain it like as if I learned it. I don't actually learn stuff. It's more like I download stuff. So at a young age, all the stuff that I was hearing, my brain was not compartmentalizing it. I couldn't put stuff in long-term memory, short-term memory, stuff that really wasn't relevant, put it back off here. Everything stayed on the front part of my brain. So I had all these things that I had heard and things that would, I guess you can call it like downloading. And when I tried to verbalize myself or verbalize what I was feeling or what I had heard or what I had learned, it all got jumbled up, and that's what caused my stutter. But it got so bad at a point till when I was around 10 years old, I was stuttering so bad. And my poor mom, she didn't know what to do. She she didn't know what to do. So on my 10th birthday, 10 years old, I was born March 27, 1965. So on March 27, 1975, my mom took me to a psychic. Believe it or not, if you call and ask her this, she'll tell you, yeah, I took him to a psychic. Sister Faith on Mahan Drive here in Tallahassee, Florida. A lot of you all probably remember her. If you live here in the Tallahassee, Gaston County area, you all remember Sister Faith on Mahan Drive out on 90, going towards Monticello and out going towards that area. Sister Faith, I would never forget it. It was on my 10th birthday. God, I'll never forget it. I remember thinking to myself, has my mom lost her mind? I mean, really? She's taking me to a psychic, a palm reader, you know? And she took me to this lady, and it was like clear as yesterday. In fact, I was telling Jen Williams, who was my VP of operations for our freight broker management firm, I was telling her this story about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I told her, I couldn't believe my mom took me to a psychic because I mean, I always thought my mom was superstitious, even up until just a few days ago. I thought my mom was crazy for doing that because she took me to this lady. This lady, she read me, she put my palm out and she read my palm and she held my palm in her hand. And we're there in this, this crazy setting with all of the tarot cards and stuff up on the walls. And, it was just crazy. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, has my mom lost her mind, taking me to a palm reader? And the lady took my hand and she was reading my palm. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I doing here? I can't believe my mom did this. And the lady, she was reading my palm and she looked up at me and she stared me right square in the eyes. And she said, you are going to speak to millions. And you are going to change lives. Now, up until a couple of days ago, a few days ago, up until then, I thought she was crazy, my mom was crazy, and that was just a bunch of, you know, a scam to get my mom's money. I really did. And then I was putting together, just about 2-3 days ago, I was putting together a promotional piece for our new consulting firm, where we do freight brokerage management. We launched our company back in October, and we now have 2 freight brokerage firms under contract that we are managing, that we run the day-to-day operations for. And we've hired a bunch of corporate salespeople, and I have consultants in my consulting firm. And I was putting together a marketing piece and I was looking for some inspirational type of speeches and stuff. And I came across one by Denzel Washington, which was a commencement address he did in 2021 or 2022 at some university. And he mentioned that in 1975, March the 27th, 1975, the same day that my mom took me to that psychic or that palm reader, on my birthday, my 10th birthday, March the 27th, 1975. He said that on that day, he was in his mom's hair salon, and he was thinking about dropping out of college because his grade point average was 1.7. He didn't know what he was going to do with his life, and he was thinking about joining the Army. And this is all in that piece that I was telling you, in that commencement speech that I found on YouTube. Very inspirational, nice music in the background and everything. He's basically giving this incredibly inspirational speech to this graduating class at this university. And he's telling them about a story that happened to him. He said, I'll never forget. He said, I'll never forget. I remember the date, March 27th, 1975. I was in my mom's hair salon, and I was thinking about dropping out of college because my grade point average was 1.7, and I was seriously thinking about joining the Army. And I looked up in the mirror, and there was this lady who was sitting on the hair dryer. And every time I looked up, she was looking at me. He said, I looked back down, and I looked back up, and she was staring at me. He said, I'll never forget it. It was March 27th, 1975. And the lady said, somebody get me a pen. Somebody get me a pencil. Somebody get me a pencil and paper, quick. And the lady, as she was writing, she said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions and change the lives of millions. When I heard that, it gave me chills. I mean, it it literally shook me to my bones. And I couldn't believe what he had just said. I had to go back and play it over and over again. And and I don't know if you all have ever had a situation or something that happened where you just started having a conversation with God. I'm not talking about praying. I'm talking about just an all outright conversation with God. I heard that and I just found myself saying, Lord, is this real? Did, did he just say on the same day, the very same day, March 27th, 1975, that someone, a lady, gave him a prophecy that he was going to travel the world and speak to millions and change the lives of millions. Almost the exact same verbiage on the exact same day that a crazy palm reader spoke to me, the exact same words. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't, I don't know what to say to it. Here was a woman who was talking to a young man, a boy of 10 years old, on my birthday, and I can't put two words together without choking. And she tells me, I'm going to speak to millions and change lives. And here I am now speaking to you all. I'm on YouTube just about every day, broadcasting to millions, putting up videos, putting up inspirational speeches, helping people to start businesses and mentoring people in the trucking and freight industry. And millions of people have the capability of watching what I'm saying. And I'm speaking with perfect clarity. Forgive me. I don't I don't know what to do with that. I don't. I honestly don't know what to do with that. But I do know for the first time I know with perfect clarity and with everything in me that my mom wasn't crazy. And and maybe that palm reader wasn't crazy either. Because I'm doing exactly what she said I would do. Exactly what she said I would do. A 10-year-old boy that couldn't put two words together without choking to death on his own words. And I know that what I'm doing right now is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's what I was meant to do. It's what I was destined to do. And I know that the things that I do now are going to help people to change their lives. Because in that commencement speech that Denzel Washington was giving to that graduating class, he made the statement that what you do has to be more than just about making money. It has to be about changing lives. Don't aspire to just make money. Aspire to make a difference. It's a wonderful thing to know that you are doing exactly what you were meant to do.
Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals, life goals, yearly goals, and understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept. Having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. And anything you want, you can have. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you've got. And when you fall throughout life, and maybe even tonight after a few many glasses of champagne, remember this: fall forward. 40 years ago, March 27th, 1975. It was 40 years ago, just this past March. I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil, I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975, she said, boy, you are gonna travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now mind you, I flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the army. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and she's telling me I'm gonna travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected, I've been directed, I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done. Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you can run in place all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? I don't care how much money you make, you can't take it with you. The Egyptians tried it. They got robbed. That's all they got. You can't take it with you. And it's not how much you have. It's what you do with what you have. We all have different talents. Some of you will be doctors, some lawyers, some scientists, some educators, some nurses. The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. In the course of the film, the character I play begins to take small steps, small risks. He very, very, very slowly begins to overcome his fears. And I feel ultimately his heart becomes flooded with love. And I can't think of a better message as we send you off today. To not only take risks, but to be open to life, to accept new views, and to be open to new opinions. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, and maybe even tonight after a few many glasses of champagne, remember this: fall forward.